Alright guys, today it's going to be my part 2 of my Lowrance series. Should have been done like a year ago, so I apologize for that. But today what we're going to be doing, I'm going to show you how to find structure with Lowrance's StructureScan or SideScan. Of course, to see if there's potentially any fish on it by marking fish on that structure. And third, hopefully catching some fish to show you that it all works as planned. You know, the biggest thing about StructureScan is that it gives you eyes underneath the water, okay? Right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. I'm going to show you guys what's underneath the boat. And it's a whole lot of nothing, okay? It almost looks like the skin of a golf ball. There's divots. All of this is sand. There's some shadows, so I know that the bottom of the lake is kind of bumpy like I said, just like a golf ball. When it comes to post-spawn largemouth fishing, a lot of those big fish, those big females, pull off. You always hear people say, oh, they go to the nearest break, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they may go to the nearest break, but they go to the nearest break with rock, okay? So rock is a very, very important feature of post-spawn fishing. I should say immediately following the spawn. They, of course, branch out from there, and you can find them in wood and weeds and all that kind of stuff. But for this demonstration, we're going to be looking for structure, mainly rock, and then going obviously from there to try to catch those fish. A few settings that are going to help you guys, you know, when you're idling and looking for structure. One, keeping it on 455. Your range is going to differ. You know, if you're really close, like in a really deep lake and you're close to the shoreline, you know, of course you can change the adjustment here, or you can just go right down here to the bottom of the screen, and the smaller arrows or the arrows that are pushing things together actually expand your StructureScan viewing area. Or if you want to shorten it up, I like 80. That's just my preference. I can see a lot of good detail. I can see bait balls of fish if I need to, all that kind of stuff. So that's totally up to you. The only other thing that I change is the palette color. Generally it's on 6, I believe, by default, which is fine, but I really like to see shadows, especially for fish, and of course rock, and so I like to go to number 8. It really helps me see the shadows a lot easier. So let's go ahead. We're going to go through, scan some areas of this lake and see if we can't find some good rock to stop a fish. So I've been idling for a few minutes. I've seen a couple of different depth changes here, and now I'm coming up to some structure. Obviously this shadow here, meaning it drops off very, very fast, and quite a few different variations of rock and or weeds. And so you know, this particular area right here might be something where I actually just waypoint, you know, with a big rock and turn around and fish it. I don't necessarily see any fish on the screen around it. These two down here might be fish, which you can kind of see are little white dots. The best thing to do is to zoom in and see if you see shadows. So yeah, those two might be fish right there. But that would give you at least an option to turn around and fish, knowing that there's some activity there with, you know, along with the structure. This whole area right here looks pretty good. It's a main lake area. A lot of this vegetation over here that you see, this is all vegetation. And of course right here you see some really big rock. So these, you know, these particular areas, these are something I'm definitely going to stop and fish. I don't see bait fish. I don't see really a whole lot of fish around here, but there's enough structure and enough depth change that it's going to pique my interest. So we're going to go ahead and put a big old waypoint right here on this rock because it's huge. It's a huge drop off. And we'll mark that 694. So of course you can always target these fish post-spawn with big worms, jigs, deep diving crankbaits. There's a lot of different baits that you can use. The biggest piece of the puzzle is finding the structure that they're going to be sitting on, and then of course finding the structure that's actually productive and you know, not dead water. So and it just takes fishing time. It's just going out and practicing and spending time on the water, because it can change daily. It's just because, you know, you could catch 5 fish off this one rock and then not catch another fish on it for like 3 years. I mean, that's just how it goes. You think he wanted that bullworm? Oh, what a giant fish. Wow. Look at that. Right in the top of the mouth. Big old 8-inch bullworm. I'm out here, I'm dragging worms for big post-spawn fish. Man, it's awesome to feel your rod load up like that. Let's get a weight on this girl. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. So good, 4. Another solid fish. This one's 5'2". All right, guys, so that's how I fish largemouth post-spawn. The water temps are climbing. They're about 80 degrees. You know, it's really, really hot every day. And while you may not catch a whole lot of fish out deep, I'll tell you what, the fish that you do catch are going to be really, really good quality. You know, just a few more tips for you guys beyond the color palette thing. Mess with those settings. Don't really mess with a whole lot else. The biggest piece to the puzzle for you is going to be seat time and experimenting, you know, going over points and secondary points and figuring out, you know, what beneath the boat is actually showing up on the screen. Because if you don't understand that, if you can't understand what you're seeing on your graph, you can't truly take advantage of StructureScan. I know people who dive, they put on their fins if they see something that they don't know what it is, and they'll actually dive down and look at it. That's really, really smart. A lot of other people just start to understand, you know, what they're seeing just because they spend time doing it. So regardless of what way helps you learn faster, just make sure you're either spending time in the seat and fishing those areas to learn what that is, or, you know, worst case scenario or best case scenario is to dive down and actually take a look at what you're seeing on your graph. You know, I started fishing the bullworm. This is an 8-inch bullworm late last fall, and I'm a huge rage tail fan, so this doesn't have the action that I normally like in a big worm, but I think today it made a huge difference. You know, it's very subtle. It's a big worm. It's a big meal, and you know, it's really, really easy to drag around. It doesn't really get hung up in the weeds and all that kind of stuff. It comes through rather clean. You know, so these are available at your local Strike King dealers. I'm also a Tackle Warehouse affiliate, so I'll have that link down below if you do shop online. But let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns, or tips for me. You know, if you guys fish out deep a different way, you know, let me know down below in the comments section. And you know, I just appreciate you watching the video and giving it a thumbs up. So hopefully you subscribe and we can share some more memories on the water together. We got a lot more videos to do, and look forward to maybe even fishing with you guys in the future. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the water. Enjoy your summer 2017.